Hi folks, Peter Devine here, and glad to see you all watching today. Um, I thought I might do a short video on books. Uh, we see so many online news people being featured in their homes these days, and I'm sure they select very carefully what their background will be. And some of these are reporters or news commentators, and I'm sure they're conscious about what else people see besides themselves when they're doing a news show. And so I thought about this a little bit, and I thought that it's kind of interesting to see. Some people have a nice set of books on the background. Others have a painting or two. Oh, probably whatever they want to show off. I myself, as you can see, have a grouping of books that I am, I guess, quite fond of in a way, or that I sequestered in this portion of my home because I want to keep them visible and protected so they don't get lost. It's funny that many of the books that I've collected actually came from the dump. We have actually several local recycling centers, and they used to allow us to go through the books and pick out the ones we liked. And so many of the local libraries, I'm sure, were incredibly enriched by the treasure trove of old books that they found at the dump. And then, of course, some not so old. Some were, of more recent vintage and very popular, probably, some volumes. I personally prefer books that are older. I just like the perspective that an older book lends to my consciousness. An older book, it's kind of not bound by the mores and the ways of thinking of the moment that we have current today. It's sort of an adventure into the past and a deep sharing with people who have passed on by now, but you can truly feel their presence many times through their books. And well, I'll give you a few examples of this kind of book recovery effort. Here is one book I found one day sitting atop a pile of discarded books at a dump. Let's see if we can see what this is. It says what? Does it say Bible? The Holy Bible, something like that? Yeah. Holy Bible, that's what it said, yes. And I found this interesting because it was just sitting on the top, and it turns out that this was someone's family Bible. It had the gentleman whose Bible it was originally, which is sometime in the 1850s, actually signed it here. And this gentleman's genealogy can be recovered. And I did do a search and found that it was a local person here, a local family. And not only do we have this gentleman's name in the book, but at some point here there's a kind of a family lineage there. So, some of these family members became quite well known, at least in their locality and maybe even nationally. And it's interesting to have a book like this. It's a full Bible from 18, looks like 39 here, I guess. And I don't save a lot of Bibles. They're quite common books, but this one I rather appreciate. And I just happen to have another interesting book on hand, and then I'm going to end my presentation here. Now, this book is actually a chemistry book. Let's look at the date of this book here. I can find it here. I should have put this aside, but let's see. The preface is dated 1879. This is, let's see who the writer is. Hard to read through these pages. Chemistry, general, medical, and pharmaceutical, including the chemistry of the U.S. Pharmacopoeia, a manual by John Attfield. And here's, the pages. And you might say, well, why should I bother with a book that is probably outdated? Well, a lot of this is not outdated. Chemistry enjoyed tremendous growth and development since the advent of the atomic theory proposed by John Dalton around 1808 or maybe even before. And this tremendous development had already borne fruit by 1879, and much of what I read in this book can really has not really changed that much. And of course, another thing is that you get additional insights as to the manner in which people were interested in justifying their theories, whereas today we accept many of these theories as true without the need of justification. Some people would prefer not to know something about the arguments by which we have adopted some of these viewpoints over time. So I'm just giving you a short example of, let me show you that book. It says chemistry, blah, blah, blah. Chemistry, General, Medical, and Pharmaceutical by Attfield. And Attfield was a well-known educator of his time. So I'm really enjoying this, reading through this book, and I'm learning a lot. Well, that's all I have today, really. I just wanted to point that out. There you have a background of books. I'm showing you a couple of the books that I have that are part of my library, and maybe in the future we'll be able to show a few more of the volumes there and their interconnectedness and the stories behind them. So thank you very much. I enjoyed spending this time with you.